Fashion Nova was founded by Richard Sagian in 2006 as a boutique selling low-priced club attire. The first location was opened in the Panorama Mall in Los Angeles, and he eventually opened 4 more stores in malls around LA. In 2013, Richard launched the e-commerce site for Fashion Nova, and Instagram became his main marketing tool. The website sold out in a few days, and from there, he grew the company into an ultra-fast fashion brand. In 2017, Fashion Nova was the most searched fashion company, beating out Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, and Chanel. The majority of their clothes are priced between $10 and $40, and they've accumulated nearly 20 million Instagram followers in just 7 years. But all of this success came at the expense of Black women and their immigrant workers. Fashion Nova's approach to marketing is aggressive social media advertising and paying influencers to wear and advertise the brand on Instagram. They post about 50 times a day and constantly release new items on a daily basis. Fashion Nova has worked with over 3,000 influencers and celebs to promote the brand on their accounts. In return, the brand would repost the photos on their account and tag them in the posts to help the influencers grow their following. Every social media and reality star has had a Fashion Nova endorsement. It doesn't matter how problematic the person is, the brand will pay anybody with a following to promote their products. Richard said in an interview with Women's Wear Daily, "A lot of my competitors have teams that work on a budget all day and are more obsessed with profit margins." He says, "I don't want to focus on that right now. I believe that as long as we focus on giving the best product at the best price and getting it to our customer fast, we will continue to grow. Right now, the focus is getting as many people onto the platform as possible." They've also paid to have artists mention the brand in songs. Richard refers to Fashion Nova as a viral brand. Cardi B started working with Fashion Nova in 2015, way before her musical career took off. She said she was being paid about $20,000 a month to wear and post the brand on Instagram.
$60, except for my shoes, but let's not talk about my shoes though. These glasses though, $10. Fashion Nova, baby. I'm gonna be on a budget until the day I die. $30, Fashion Nova, baby.
Celebs like the Kardashians and Jenners can bring in about $50,000 in sales from just one post. The brand specifically caters to curvy women, and in 2016, they launched their plus-size category. Their aesthetic is typically women with wide hips, large butts, and big lips. All the things that scream Black women, right? So why don't Fashion Nova repost Black influencers? They always seem to only post white women with surgically enhanced bodies, and girls that blackfish or try to appear Latina or racially ambiguous. I've seen so many Black influencers and reality stars promoting Fashion Nova, but I rarely see their photos being shared on the brand's Instagram account. Dark-skinned women specifically are rarely seen on Fashion Nova's site and Instagram. Black influencers have brought up the issue in the past, and Fashion Nova typically gaslights the issue by naming the Black models that they've worked with, who are all light-skinned or mixed, by the way. Or they would ask the influencers to return the items and checks they received from the brand, instead of just simply doing better and supporting diversity. Black independent designers are also being ripped off in the process. Fashion Nova has a long history of stealing designs from indie designers and taking advantage of them. Oftentimes, these large companies will buy items from small designers to use as samples. Jay Nice, the designer and owner of the online boutique Closet Envy, called Fashion Nova out for ordering her Black Nadia hoodie and returning it using their company name and address, then selling an imitation of her design on their website for their Fashion Nova and Cassie collection.
When Fashion Nova is so obsessed with you, they buy your clothes off your website and use it as a sample to remake it and resell it. So cute, Fashion Nova. So cute. I'm so happy that you guys are a fan.
In an Instagram post, she wrote, "Stop stealing from the African American community, Fashion Nova." Then y'all got sloppy and returned it back from the shipping department. They also copied some of her other designs and blocked her on social media after. Lucy Wilden, the founder and independent designer of the brand Knots and Vibes, also called out Fashion Nova for the same reason. Lucy spends hours hand-making and crocheting her pieces, and she refuses to have her pieces manufactured in Asia, since the workers aren't getting paid a fair wage. She wrote on Instagram, "Fashion Nova have ripped off my skin-out dress, detail for detail. I designed the green version of this in 2016 and this color in 2017. They've mass-produced this with a retail price of $40 US. That makes their production price around $13, meaning whoever crocheted this was paid less than $1 per hour. Not only are they stealing my design, but they're using it to exploit people and profit from it, which is the opposite of what Knots and Vibes stand for." Designer Brianna Shanae Wilson, the creator of Matte Brand, has had her designs ripped off by Fashion Nova a number of times. She finally called the company out in 2019 after they copied designs from her Caution collection. There are countless other examples of the brand stealing designs from indie designers. They've copied dress designs from Latina designer Sel Arlene and Middle Eastern crochet designer Nurvana, who spends hours and sometimes days creating different clothing pieces all by herself. Destiny Blue, the designer of crystallized hosiery and lingerie line D Blue Dazzled, caught the brand using a pic of Kylie Jenner wearing her embellished tights to sell their knockoff version. I can go on and on about Fashion Nova stealing from independent designers, but I have another video coming really soon about Destiny and the Kardashians, so stay tuned for that. Unfortunately for these small designers, there are no laws to prohibit any person from manufacturing clothing of identical designs. Fashion has never been legally protected under the American copyright law. Fast fashion is cheap, trendy clothing that imitates styles popularized by celebrities or designer brands, and is mass-produced at rapid rates. Fast fashion retailers like Fashion Nova and Pretty Little Thing introduce hundreds of new styles and products daily to stay on top of trends. Unlike real designers, fast fashion sites don't spend months planning ahead for each season. They rather use low-quality material to replicate trends as they appear in real time, and release them to the public before other fast fashion sites. Because these clothing items are being produced at an alarming rate, factory workers in foreign countries are being overworked and underpaid. Richard said, "We don't want girls showing up to the club in the same outfit. We need 50 different denim jackets, not just one." The brand is quick to jump on styles and trends when they're worn by celebs, especially the Kardashians. Richard works with more than 1,000 product manufacturers and can receive samples within 24 hours of requesting them. He says, "If there was a design concept that came to mind Sunday night, on a Monday afternoon, I would have a sample. Once the sample is ready, they do a shoot with one of their on-call models, and it's uploaded to the website." Fashion Nova releases about 600 new pieces per week, and majority of the garments are made in Los Angeles by underpaid immigrants. 80% of the clothes are produced in LA during the summer, and during the colder months, 80% are made overseas. The sewers are paid as little as $2.77 an hour and $200 a week. But since most of the employees are undocumented, they won't demand better treatment from their employer. According to research by the New York Times, the Federal Labor Department has found that many Fashion Nova garments are stitched together by a workforce in the United States that is paid illegally low wages. In investigations conducted from 2016 through 2020, the department discovered Fashion Nova clothing being made in dozens of factories that owed $3.8 million in back wages to hundreds of workers, according to the internal federal documents that summarize the findings that were reviewed by the New York Times. Factory worker Mercedes Cortez sewed Fashion Nova clothes for several months. She worked every day of the week, but her pay was based on how many pieces she sewed. She was paid about 4 cents to sew on each sleeve, 5 cents for each of the side seams, 8 cents for the seam on the neckline, and on average, she earned about $270 in a week, the equivalent of $4.66 an hour. She said, "There were cockroaches, there were rats, the conditions weren't good." In 2016, she left the factory and reached a $5,000 settlement with the factory for back wages. She went on to work in other factories sewing Fashion Nova items and said, "The clothes are very expensive for what they pay us." According to the New York Times, in September 2019, 3 officials from the Labor Department met with Fashion Nova's lawyers to tell them that over 4 years, the brand's clothes had been found in 50 investigations of factories paying less than the federal minimum wage or failing to pay overtime. Employees and owners of the factory said that Fashion Nova would always push to pay the lowest price possible for each garment and would demand a quick turnaround. Sometimes they would order about 5,000 pieces at a time. The dress category alone on FashionNova.com has about 4,500 different options. Richard said, "They give me the best possible price they can give it to me, for that will allow them to still break a profit. The clothes are being produced so fast that the items are poorly constructed and the fabrics are usually cheap quality." But it's not just Fashion Nova. These factories also produce clothes for other major American retailers. Besides exploiting immigrants and Black women, the brand has had many complaints about their other shady business practices. They don't offer cash refunds, only store credit, and shoppers must pay the shipping fee to make exchanges and returns. Many customers accuse the brand of scamming them because they weren't issued refunds if the item they purchased was out of stock. In April 2020, Fashion Nova had to pay the FTC between $7 million and $9.3 million for violating shipping and refund rules. They failed to ship merchandise in a timely manner without notifying customers and giving them an opportunity to cancel their orders. They falsely advertised fast shipping on their website. Fashion Nova also provided gift cards as compensation for unshipped merchandise instead of providing refunds. Offering a gift card or store credit is not considered a refund under the rule. These brands like Fashion Nova only care about exploiting Black culture, and they also don't care about the hardworking immigrants that work around the clock to produce their products. Right now, more than ever, it is very important for us to be supporting businesses in our community, especially Black-owned businesses and designers. If you're white, please go out and support Black-owned businesses. If you're Black, support Black-owned businesses. If you're Hispanic, support Black-owned businesses while supporting other Hispanic businesses. I'm going to leave links to all the websites of the designers mentioned in this video, as well as other Black-owned fashion brands you guys should shop from. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and like this video and subscribe to Black Femininity TV for more content.